as you may have noticed, it is not tomorrow. It has actually been a couple of days since we put this in the refrigerator. And as you can see, it has grown. It has grown a lot. But that is actually okay. This dough will actually hang out in the fridge for up to 10 days. And you can take it out as needed. This dough makes 2 loaves of bread. So if you only wanted to make 1 loaf of bread, you could pull it out, split it in half, and make 1 loaf and put the rest of the dough in the fridge for another time and make another loaf another day. Totally okay to do that. But today we're gonna make 2 loaves just so that I can show you how this works. But even in the fridge, let's see, it's been 3 days since I put this in the fridge, and so it's definitely grown. You can see the bubbles. If you can see the side of that, you can see that it's airy. It's definitely grown. The sourdough has done its work. So we are gonna get started. Let's make some sourdough loaves. Just gonna pull this around out. Now, since sourdough is, as with all bread, is about timing, I will tell you that it is about 11:30 a.m. And so timing does come into this because we are gonna have, look at that bubble. Nope. We are gonna have, oh, that smells so amazing. Oh my gosh, I love the smell of sourdough. That smells so, so good. Now, again, timing. So yes, we are gonna have a rise that needs to happen with our loaves. And so you don't wanna be doing this, you know, like at 7 p.m. because you're gonna be up all night. Not all night, but you're gonna be up for a while. So you kind of wanna make sure that you're timing this accordingly. So anyway, since this makes 2 loaves, I'm gonna split this in half. Ish. This is all about ish. Now, this is slightly sticky. It's not sticky enough that it's, well, there's a little bit on my hand. It is a little bit sticky. If you don't like working with sticky dough, which I don't mind it, it's okay. I actually kind of enjoy the feel of this dough. You do not want to add flour to sourdough. If it's being really weird, if you don't like the way that it's sticking, don't add flour. You can put a little bit of water on your hands and that will help. But otherwise just try and work with it, you know, just kind of how it is and just kind of leave it be. I'm just kind of giving it a bit of a knead, a bit of a roll, just kind of feeling it up, as it were, just kind of having a bit of a joyful moment with my sourdough dough. Because we are going to be shaping it in the shape of a loaf and putting it into our Banneton bowls. You do not have to use Banneton bowls. You can use whatever bowl you want to use. You could use a glass bowl, just like a, oh, son of a biscuit, like a Tupperware bowl. Whatever you have is totally fine. Again, this isn't fancy. This is just sourdough. This is a little bit of rice flour. Just helps to prevent from sticking. You don't have to use rice flour. You can use regular flour. It doesn't matter. I just like to use rice flour because it's just a little bit thinner. It doesn't add as much heaviness. Doesn't add as much, I don't know what I want to say. Heaviness is the only word I can come up with. It doesn't add as much to the dough. Sprinkle just a little bit on top of there. Anyway, so we're just going to make this in the shape of a ball. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And we're almost kind of going to do, in fact, you know what? See how that's kind of sticking to me a little bit? I'm going to go get my hands a little bit wet. Got my hands a little bit wet, and this is going to help. Yeah. We're kind of just going to fold it in on itself. So that it makes a round bowl. Now it is going to do its thing. It's the sourdough in it is still kind of, you know, poofing and rising, and yeah, that's fine. Anyway, that's it. Literally, I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of rice flour over the top of it, just so that it doesn't stick. Lovely. Okay, now I'm going to cover this with a shower cap. This happens to have pretty flowers all over it. And then I'm just going to set this on my counter. And this is going to rise for 3 to 4 hours. Okay, I'm going to set that one right over there. And I'm going to do the exact same thing with this other one. Lovely. Just kind of feel it up. It's sticking a little bit, so I'm gonna go get my hands wet. Not a lot, you don't have to get it like soaking wet, but just, and we're just kind of gonna fold it in on itself. We're making like a little pouch, I guess, or like a little, I don't know, little bag, a little pouch. Like so. We're gonna pop that right in the banneton. Or the bowl, whatever, the dish, whatever way you want to use is totally fine. Lovely. See how it opens and spreads? It's just that dough. It's still spreading, it's still poofing, it's still rising. That's what we want it to do, and it's going to do that for the next 3 to 4 hours. I'm gonna sprinkle some rice flour on top. Whoop, okay, well that was a little much. It's fine, it's totally fine. Sourdough don't care. Great. Get another shower cap. You don't have to use a shower cap, you can just use a regular dish towel, it doesn't matter. Just gonna cover it and set it off to the side on my counter. In fact, let me take you out. Sorry about that. See, I'm just setting it on my counter, and they're just gonna sit there and rest for the next 3 to 4 hours. And my house is probably 75 degrees. So depending on the temperature of your house, if you run your house colder, it's going to take a little bit longer. If you run your house warmer, it's going to take a little bit less time. Anyway, so I will be back in about 3 to 4 hours. All right, we are back. It's 3:25, so it's been about 3.5, 4 hours. And you can see how these have kind of domed up a little bit. That means that they're ready. And then let's take a walk over here to the oven. I'm preheating my oven at 425. Let's take a walk over here. These are the cast iron Dutch ovens that I am using to cook my sourdough rounds in. You don't have to use the cast iron Dutch ovens. You can use whatever you want, but this is what I have, and so this is what I use. I am going to stick both of these in the oven so that they preheat along with the oven, and then I am going to get the rest of it set up, and I will join you in just a minute. All right, here we are. We're going to take off our shower caps. Oh, yes. You can see it's sticking a little bit. That's okay. Didn't quite put enough rice flour on there, did I? That's all right. There you go. Okay, and then we'll do this other one. Very nice. Okay. Now, this is just one more opportunity that you have to kind of take this dough and just kind of work it just one more time. Just kind of pull it very gently from the edges and pull it into the center. You're just kind of gently, gently, gently making that kind of bowl shape. That's all you're doing, just gently. You're not doing anything crazy here. Just kind of gently, gently, gently folding it in. Oh, we got a little bubble. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, very nice. Okay, lovely. Now we're gonna do the same thing to this one. Oh boy, this one rose up quite a bit. Okay, we're just kind of gonna gently just kind of take this. Oh, we got a little bubble. And just kind of, yes, just very delicately. There's no need to be rough. Boop. Feels very airy and very pillowy. Oop, boop, pillowy. Smells divine. All right, now as I told you before, I've got my oven preheating to 425 along with both of my Dutch ovens. Now, the mistake I've made in the past is I will turn these out of these banneton baskets and onto the parchment way too early. Well, my oven is still got a long ways to go before it's heated. And then they sit there on my parchment with nothing to do and nowhere to go. And they're just kind of hanging out and not having fun. So I have learned to keep them inside of the Banneton baskets until my Dutch ovens are preheated. And then that way they're not sitting on the parchment being like, yo, this is boring. We don't have anything to do. So we're just gonna let them sit here in the Banneton basket until the oven is preheated, and then we will come back to them. All right, the oven is preheated and we are ready to get these babies in the oven. Let me go get the Dutch ovens out. Oh, these are heavy. Here, I want to use some heavy duty oven mitts because those suckers are hot. You can even see that they've changed color a little bit. They're like dark red and dark green now because they are 425 degrees now. And ooh, they are hot. Okay. Our bread is lovely. You can see even as they have just sat there as the oven is preheated, they have grown even more. So let's get these turned out and put into our hot, hot Dutch ovens. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is I have a piece of parchment paper. Any parchment paper will do. And I'm just going to lay it right over the top of this Banneton basket. I'm just going to grab hold of the bottom. I don't know if you can see that very good. And grab hold of the top of the parchment. And I'm just going to flip it over. Oh, I actually even, oops, sorry about that. Okay, and then I'm just going to really gently pull that away. And there it is. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, now you're going to want to get yourself a very sharp knife. It's important that it's sharp or it isn't going to work. It's not going to be able to cut through this dough. So this is called a bread lame. It's probably actually pronounced lame because, you know, bread people are fancy ass, but whatever. This is basically just a razor blade on a piece of wood, but it's super sharp. So please be careful. Now, you can Google about 1,000 different ways of cutting this, but usually what I do is just really simple. I'm just going to go from the top to the bottom, and I'm just going to open this up. This is called an elephant ear cut, and you want to go pretty deep. I mean, you don't want to cut it in half or anything, but I usually do about 3 passes, and you're going to see the dough kind of poof out. So this cut right here on the side is called an elephant ear cut. Now, you can do, I mean, people get super fancy with these cuts. You can do the little wheat stalks, you could do like the little S's, I mean, the art on these things that these people do are absolutely astounding. They're absolutely beautiful. I don't get that fancy though, so for this one I think we'll just do a line. And again, I'm going to do it 3 times, and maybe I'll just do a couple of lines on the side. Again, nothing super fancy. I'm not fancy about my bread. And that's that. Okay, now I'm going to tip you up a little bit so that you can see as I transfer this into the Dutch oven. So what we're going to do is very, very, very carefully, because these are very, very hot, is we're going to take our bread and we're just going to pick it up and lay it oh so carefully. Please watch your hands and your fingers. Keep them inside at all times. And you're just going to lay it right inside of your Dutch oven. Let me just see if you can see that. Okay, see that? It's just laying right inside of the Dutch oven, just like that. Okay, let's do that one more time. We have one more to go. We're just going to lay this right on top. We're going to flip it out, gently lift it up. We're going to get our bread razor. Yeah, we'll go this way. We're going to cut our elephant ear cut. These cuts are important because as the bread is cooking, it needs a place to let off some steam. You know what I mean? It's been cooped up in that Banneton basket, and it needs to let off some steam. These are probably going to end up running together actually when they bake, these lines, but that's okay. It don't matter. Again, I'm not getting super fancy with this. I mean, honestly, this bowl shaped is not super fancy to begin with. And so, okay, let me make sure you can see that, okay? And we're just going to go put the lid back on that one. Oh, so carefully. Put that in there. on that one. Okay, these are gonna go back into the oven. 325, they're gonna bake for 20 minutes with the lids on. Then you're gonna take the lids off and bake them for another 20 minutes. So I will see you in 20 minutes. All right, we're gonna take the lids off. Oh baby, that's heavy. I will tell you one thing, that a piece of advice that somebody gave me. Do not set these on this glass because you can bust it. Didn't know that, but I was told that. Oh, can you guys see it? Oh, it looks beautiful. Look at how that elephant's ear has split wide open. You can kind of see the other little guys, but not really. I'm not an artiste. You can see it's getting a little bit brown on the top, but we're gonna take these lids off because we want it to get even browner. Now I'm gonna take the lids off for 20 minutes and then I'm gonna check it. And I'm gonna check the top for its crispiness and its doneness. Ooh, that's a big one. Ooh, look at that elephant ear cut, wow. Ooh, that puffed out. And see if I like the amount of crispiness. If you want them to be more crispy, then leave them in for 25 minutes. If you want them to be not as crispy, if you like yours just a little bit blonde, then leave them in for 15 minutes. This portion right here is just kind of the portion that does the amount of crispiness on top and finishes off that classic sourdough crust. So I like mine with a nice crispy crust on the outside and nice squishy, yummy sourdoughiness on the inside. So 20 minutes works for me, but it's your sourdough, baby. You get to decide what you like and what you want to do. So, all right, we will be back in 20 minutes. It is time. It has been 20 minutes. Oh, that just looks so good. Oh, that's a big boy right there. Ooh, that looks so yummy. Okay, let's turn that on. All right, let me turn you here so that you can see. Oh my goodness. You see that? See, now this is perfect for me. This amount of crispiness, that's perfect for me. But obviously you do you, boo. You do what makes you happy. Oh boy, he's a big one. He were big. And you can see, well, you can kind of see the elephant cuts, how they just burst wide open. You can barely see any of my other cuts. In fact, these cuts just kind of all merged together, so it just looks like I have two big cuts. It's fine, it don't matter. It's gonna eat the same with butter and honey and all the yummy things. All right, so what I'm gonna do is very awkwardly, move this out of the way, very awkwardly and clumsily, I'm going to attempt to take these out and onto a wire rack without burning any part of my body. If I were a smarter woman, I would get larger parchment so that I could just lift these up and out. Am I a smarter woman? No, I am not. Ah! Okay, that was scary. I thought I was gonna burn myself. Okay, let's try this one. Oh, this one's so big. Please don't burn yourself. Oh. Okay, now I'll just slide those out. My parchment's ripping. That's fine because I wanted to show you the bottom anyway, so. Right? Oh, please parchment under there. Look, very clumsy, very awkward. Oh, yes. Oh, so yummy. Oh, do they not look amazing? Now, looking at this, I know that you are tempted. You're like, cut into that, baby. Let's go. Let's eat. Let's get some bread, butter, and honey action going on. But no. We cannot. Sourdough must rest. If I tried to cut into this bread right now, the inside would go and it would be all flat with no bubbles and be very chewy and dense. And I don't want that. I want it to be light. Oh, it's cackling at me. I want it to be light and airy and fluffy. So this must rest. It must rest and tempt you and seduce you from the countertop for at least an hour. I know. This literally is the most awful part about sourdough. Feeding the starter, easy. Mixing the dough, lemon squeezy. Everything else is so easy. This is the worst part of sourdough. Don't let anyone tell you any different. It is the siren's call of warm sourdough bread, but do not let it tempt you. We're gonna sit here and we're gonna let it rest for at least an hour before we cut into it. And then I will show you the beauty that is the inside of a sourdough loaf. All right, everyone, the moment of truth. We are gonna cut into this. This is a fancy dancy knife. If you don't have one, please don't worry. Any knife will do. Honestly, you don't even need a knife. Just put the whole thing in your mouth and rip a hunk out of it. But this knife, seriously, is like the best knife on the planet. It just cuts through this thing. Oh, it's still a little bit warm. Oh, yes, baby. Okay, there you go. We've got some nice aeration. We've got some nice bubbles. We don't have any huge bubble pockets. That's because when we were kneading that dough and putting it in the Banneton, we kind of popped those big bubbles. So we don't have any huge gaps within our crust. But there it is. And that's all there is to it. That's it. Done, one and done. That's all there is to it. Sourdough is not hard. You can do it. I promise. And please enjoy making your own sourdough. I want you to do it. Leave any questions in the comments. I'm happy to answer any that you have.